Hello, everyone, and today I wanted to talk about one of my favorite comedy movies of all time, and that movie is My Man Godfrey, 1936 version, not the 1957. I have not seen that one as yet, starring William Powell and Carol Lambert. This movie surprised the heck out of me when I saw it for the first time. All right, I was not expecting it. I heard it was good, and the name is a very recognizable name to me. Once you hear a name like My Man Godfrey, you just kind of you know remember it all the time. But actually watching it, I was surprised that it was actually a like a actually funny movie. Because especially in today's day and age, I'm not really used to movies being actually funny anymore. They're just kind of loud. But yeah, let's just talk about this movie. Honestly, this isn't going to be much of a review. It's more going to be like a plea, a plea for whoever's watching this to, if you have not witnessed the greatness, I recommend that you watch the 1936 version of My Man Godfrey, because this movie, believe it or not, is actually funny. All right, and I know like people have a sort of like a mental barrier, sort of kind of like or like should I they have their limits when it comes to entertainment. Like I know actually people, well, at least I've heard of people who can't watch or listen to anything that is pre 21st century. All right, so that's of course someone who was born more recently, but for some reason they're just repulsed by the video and audio quality of something, or just not interested in the something that has the video and audio quality a of anything pre 21st century. And that is just the saddest thing ever. Understandable, given like how they were raised or something like that, or just however their mind, like takes in information or whatever. But it's still sad. It's a very sad reality that some people will not witness some of the greatest films and music of all time. But if there was ever a comedy movie, especially comedy, because comedy is something that ages the absolute worst. Show a Buster Keaton or a what's the dude's name? The other guy, the one with the mustache. You know you you like you know who I'm talking about, all right? But yeah, show someone a Buster Keaton comedy movie from like the 1910s or 1920s or something like that, and they would not find it funny because it's just not their humor or something like that, or the humor, like it's more it's just different. It's just not humor that they um I guess, because like you'd be pretty hard pressed to find someone who could go that far back and actually like watch and enjoy and want to continue watching something like a Buster Keaton comedy movie, right? For myself, I can't stand the audio or video quality of anything pre 1930s. Like I might listen to some jazz from the 1920s or something, or some big band from the 20s, but that is absolutely it. I cannot take anything audio or visual from pre 1930s, because I tried watching this like really old this really old animation mixed with reality short film, right? It was about like these it's pretty famous if you're into film. It's where this like couple go into a hotel, and the hotel like has these like magical powers or something like that, where they do things for you. So like it's brushing the woman's hair and it's taking their luggage and stuff like that, right? Watching that made me sick. I felt like throwing up, basically. So yeah, I can't take anything pre 30s. So that's my personal limit. But thankfully, that limit does not stop me from enjoying My Man Godfrey. If there was ever a single comedy film, a single old comedy film, because most like most people can find a comedy from maybe even all the way back to the 60s that they enjoy, that can be enjoyed by all generations, because it's just universal comedy. It's just aged really really well, right? But you'd be hard pressed to find anyone who can find a film from the 50s or the 40s, or like in this case the 30s, that could be actually funny to someone in the more modern age, someone who was born in the 90s or the 2000s, right? But yeah, just like just because of the difference in how people move, and just like the different acting styles and the way how people talk is just different. And that can turn some people off, like personally, that kind of turns me off a bit from some 1930s and even 40s comedies and drama films, because of how the sort of animated way that people acted back then, right? But this movie is a really great exception. This movie, like, I kid you not, is one of my favorite comedy films, like even top 10, I think, comedy films of all time. My Man Godfrey. And I'm not we're like 6 minutes and I haven't even really talked about the movie. Okay, let's finally talk about the movie, all right? The movie is good. That's basically all you have to know. The basic plot is forgot the names of the characters. Carol Lombard, she is this rich socialite girl, right? And there's this thing that all the socialites, like all the young socialites, do, where they go out on the night in their cars, right? And they find interesting homeless people that they bring to these big parties, right? And they like treat them to food and stuff, and they basically vote, like take a vote on who brought the most interesting homeless person. I know that's a very sick thing to do, but hey, they're rich, they're young, they're bored. I mean, like, it's the freaking 30s. What do they possibly have to do? But still, not a good excuse. So that's a pretty sick thing to do. But yeah. So they did that, right? And of course, like, when Godfrey finds this out, um, it makes him feel bad. Well, it doesn't really make him feel bad. Kind of honestly, he's just a really chill character. He's a really good character. He's really chill. So he's just kind of like, yeah, free food, whatever. I'll just go back to my life after this. But she feels bad and stuff, and as a favor, she makes him the family butler, because the family needs a new butler. So she recommends him for the job. Her father hires him, and he gets all cleaned up and stuff, and they basically fall in love together. Basically, that's the basic plot of the film, right? Don't wouldn't want to spoil anything else, because honestly, like, I kid you not, I sincerely recommend this movie to every single generation. All right, every single generation that is still alive today, even the millennial, even some kid born in the 2010s. I'd recommend them to watch My Man Godfrey. All right, the pacing is impeccable, the acting is great. William Powell is brilliant in this, like, stone faced, sort of like, what's it called, dry, like sort of like a dry humor kind of thing. Kind of like he's got this really impeccable Bill Murray thing going on, right? Because Bill isn't, well, at least most of the time, he's not a very animated guy. He's this dry wit kind of humor kind of guy, right? And that's why we all like him. Well, William Powell gives a very similar sort of um performance in this film, and it really really works for the character of Godfrey. And it's not a difficult film or anything like that. It's not anything complex. It's a really simple film. Just the basic plot of, wow, the camera just moved. Anyway, the basic plot is basically what happens in the film, and it's really funny. All of the characters are funny and relatable and understandable. The acting is not something that I think will turn people off, because it is kept pretty, it's kept pretty chill. It's not that animated to where it would turn some more modern viewers off. And honestly, it's like, I just I don't have that much to say about the film individually, other than to just praise the acting, praise the humor for aging really really well, because the humor has aged really well. It's honestly it crosses boundaries. It just stands out among the other comedies that I've seen from the 30s, because if like, even though they are decent films, and they're still, like, because like you'd see them on these lists of like the best comedies of the 20th century, but then when you watch them, they're pretty outdated in terms of humor, and you can't really understand the jokes because of what was popular at the time. And of course, we don't know what was popular at the time. We're not aware of that. We live in this time, so we can't understand what they're saying exactly. But and yeah, and there's a lot of screwball comedy. Well, and even this, like, on Wikipedia, it's described as a screwball comedy. uh oh, it is a screwball comedy. Oh, okay, it's a screwball comedy. All right, I got the things mixed up with screwball and dang it, what's the other name? What's that type of comedy where it's like where it's like people falling over and stuff like that, and running into doors and getting thrown out windows and stuff like that, which happens in the film, of course, but not to that extent. It's not that. What's it? Damn it, I can't remember. It's, like that kind of comedy with like the the Three Stooges kind of comedy that was popular back then in the 30s, but I cannot remember it for the life of me. But anyway, um, yeah, so it's a screwball comedy, but it's not as extreme. It's not as over the top. It's not as exaggerated as the other films of the period. And that is why I think that this film crosses boundaries. That is why I would definitely recommend it to modern viewers. I cannot stress it enough. This movie is as close as you can get to a classic comedy film, as classic as the freaking 1930s, still standing up, still holding up, still being good viewership to this day, because it's just a solid film overall, well acted, nice humor that still stands because it's like relatable stuff. It's got a nice heart touching story, nice characters. It's just well paced. It's just good all around. All right, I can't stress that enough. It's just a good all around film. Wow, nothing is hurting. I'm just trying not to sneeze. And yeah, so that's why I recommend My Man Godfrey. I've gone on long enough about the film. It's a really great film, crosses boundaries. Recommended to viewers of every single age. All right, if you honestly, down to the simplest thing, if you like comedy, if you like to laugh, watch My Man Godfrey. It's a good movie. I recommend it. You should watch it. Good movie. That's about all I have to say. So yeah, it's a good movie. You should watch it if you like comedy. That's it. It's that simple. So yeah, I think I've pretty much repeated myself into oblivion. That's about as much as I can say. So yeah. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to know when I upload next. Watch My Man Godfrey. It crosses boundaries. It's a really great comedy film that stands the test of time. Still a classic, timeless classic. This has been Fraser Not the Exorcist, and I'll see you all next time. God bless.